We all have to make decisions in our life every day, hundreds, thousands of decisions. Some are not so important, or most of them not so important, but some can be really, really important for our life and really change the direction of our life. So how do you know to make the right decision? And wouldn't be so cool if there's someone there you can always ask who always has the right answer to your questions? Well, in this video, I'll show you some shamanic methods and techniques that you can use in order to get in touch with your compassionate spirits who will give you the right answers to your questions. Hi, for those of you who are new here, my name is Maddie. I'm a biologist and author and a shamanic practitioner. And on my channel, it's all about shamanism and how you can implement shamanic methods into your everyday life to make it more happy and fulfilled and, beautiful. So I was a person in the past who never liked to make decisions. I either avoided them or I pushed as much as I could to not make any decisions until it was too late to make a decision or someone else decided for me, because I was always afraid of making the wrong decisions, either to lose something or to miss out on another opportunity. I really wanted to not like just decide for one thing and not be able to do the other thing. So I was not deciding for anything, always said yes to everything, which eventually led to burnout, depression, and just a bunch of other health issues. I had no clarity in my life and no direction because I didn't know what I should actually decide for. What is it that I want in my life? Until I started making myself familiar with shamanism. So for just to remind yourself what shamanism basically is and what it means. Shamanism is a word like an umbrella word, and all kind of spiritual practical practices fall under this word. It has been invented by anthropologists to describe the spiritual practices and methods that are used in indigenous tribes. And these methods basically have the goal to get in touch with spirits. And so this is the core idea of shamanism, that there are spirits. Everything has a spirit, every stone, every animal, every human, and that we can get in touch with these spirits. We are connected on a spiritual level, and that we can get in touch with everything through, for example, shamanic journeying. The cool thing is with spirits that they have a complete different view on everything. And so if we ask a spirit who really wants to help us, they can give us really valuable answers to our questions. So therefore, all the shamanic methods are focusing on how we're going to alter our consciousness so that we are able to connect with the spirits. And I just want to explain a little bit more detail. So in shamanism, there are three worlds. The first world is the middle world. The middle world is what you can see right now with me. You can see me. I am physical. I have a body. And this is the so-called ordinary aspect of the middle world. But there is also a non-ordinary aspect of the middle world, and that would be my spirit. Since I have a spirit, everything also around me has a spirit too. But right now, you're just looking at in the ordinary reality. You can just see my body. But if you would change your consciousness, if you would alter your consciousness, and then you would be able to also perceive that non-ordinary reality. Meaning we would connect on a spiritual level with each other. You could ask my spirit for help. And that goes with everything that is around me, like with my drum on the wall, with this picture, with that lamp. They all have a spirit. And if I would change my consciousness, I would be able to connect with these spirits, maybe asking my lamp for help. Then you have the upper and the lower worlds. And here there's only a non-ordinary aspect. Meaning there is no material stuff there. There are no humans form things. There is nothing material. There are only spirits. And also with these spirits, we can get in touch when we change our when we change our perception, when we are stepping into that altered consciousness. And you can do that through drumming, singing, through dancing, through people get into that altered state of consciousness when they're drifting off to sleep, when we are sleeping. So every time you change the consciousness, you're like your normal perception of the world, then this is an altered state of consciousness. And we can do this intentionally. We can intentionally change our consciousness in order to contact these spirits. And the cool thing is that the spirits in the upper and the lower world, they don't have an own agenda. What does that mean? Let me explain it in a different way. I'll give you an example. So you want to go and stay abroad for a year, or maybe you want to study somewhere for a year. You want to go on long travel, but you're not so sure if this is the right decision for you. So you might you might think, oh, I'll ask some people what they think about this. Maybe they can help me make the right decisions. So you might go to your mother and your dad, and you're asking, hey guys, what do you think? I want to go for a year to a travel. Do you think this is the right thing for me to do? They have their own agenda because they're also living with you here in the middle world. They're also materialized, and they don't want you to go. They have their own opinion on how you should live your life, right? They have their own agenda. They don't want to have that experience, you leaving for a year, so they have to worry about you, or maybe have to send you money when you don't have enough money for your traveling, right? So they have their own agenda. Because of that, they might just give you an answer that is not the best answer for you. When you make your decision, you actually feel like, oh, I really want to go. I really want to travel the world and experience all of this. And they tell you, well, it's dangerous. You don't have the money. What is if something happens to you? So they make you doubting this decision because they have their own agenda. And this example can also be applied if you are talking to spirits. Basically, you talk to your mother spirit in that regard. But if you think, oh, might I just go somewhere and I open myself up to any spirit here and just ask my questions and see what comes. So this is not a good idea. That's why I'm never channeling anything, because I am only connecting with the spirits who I personally know and who I know are my compassionate spirit allies. And I mean with compassionate spirit allies that they don't have an own agenda. So I know that every time I connect with my spirit animals and with my spiritual teachers, that they don't have an own agenda, meaning they give me an answer that is not in their favor, but that really is kind of like helping to have a balance in my life and also in the world per se. Because this is what also is the idea of shamanism, that everything thrives to get back into balance. So when you ask your spirits about a question, should I take that job on? Or should I go with this person? Should I have a relationship with that person? All they would tell you is when you do this, yes, then things will get back into balance. Whether if you decide for something else and it would take you away from the balance, they would say, no, this is maybe not a good idea. So it's all about balancing out. And isn't that what we all want? We want to have a balanced life. We want to have a happy, healthy life where our health is balanced, our relationships are in balance, right? So, and if something is out of balance because you made the wrong decisions in your past life, and you just ask your spirits, should I take on this job and it will help you to, regain your balance? Then they would say, yeah, go for it. This is a good idea. So they are really having the overview of all the consequences of your decisions. And that's why they're such good consultants and such good helpers when you have a really important question to ask. So this is why it is important to not just ask any spirit, but really your compassionate ally spirits. And you will find them in the upper or in the lower world, because the spirits living in the upper and the lower world, they don't have an own agenda, because there is nothing material. There is nothing they should kind of aim for or go for, right? So they don't have an own agenda. So that was just a kind of a longer introduction to make you understand that it is important that you not just ask any spirit around, but that you know the spirits that you are working with. And you can get to know them through shamanic journeying. So the first time you go on a shamanic journey, then you probably meet your spirit animal. I also made a video about how to find your spirit animal if you can't journey yet, and you'll kind of find that here. So I just kind of separate that video in these kind of two options. So the first option is that you're already kind of a bit advanced, you know how to do the shamanic journeying, and you already know your compassionate allies. So how to approach this then with the decision making? So yeah, the easiest thing is really just go on a shamanic journey and ask your spirit animals and your spiritual helpers for help. it's not a good idea to just ask a yes or a no question, because that doesn't really, help you. If you ask like, should I get together with this person? And the answer is yes. I was like, oh, okay, but why? Why would that be a good idea? So it's always better to have kind of like a more well-rounded question to get a better answer. For example, what will I experience if I will, make the decision to go on a 1-year journey to Spain, let's say that? Or what will be the outcome if I take on this new job? This is a really good question, because then your spirits will show you something, will show you maybe what will be an experience. Maybe you meet someone on the journey to Spain who is your soulmate, right? Who doesn't want to have that one? Or in the job, you maybe see the situation where you are promoted, or you make more money, or you'll meet someone who will give you another opportunity, right? So, or the opposite, you'll see how you will sit on your desk and you're like, oh, I don't like this job. These kind of things you really can see in shamanic journeying. And this is the beauty of this method, that it is so comprehensive, and the answers that your spirits are getting more and more clear also the more you are practicing the shamanic journeying. And it is an amazing tool, such a valuable tool that I really have in my life now to make decisions that I am happy with and also confident with. So this is the case if you already know your helping spirits. If you're a total beginner in shamanic work and you don't know anything yet, you don't know your spirit animal yet, and you don't know your spiritual teachers yet, you can still ask them. They're still around. It doesn't matter whether you're aware of them or not, whether you know them or not. You can still ask them. And you can just do it in a some different ways. I'll give you some examples. The first thing is that you maybe have a stack of cards. Maybe you're familiar with like card reading or something. Like I have a stack of cards that is like with Celtic motifs and trees and all that. And there are so many different versions of it, with angels, with plants, with animals, like all kind of stuff. And you just, in a relaxed state, you sit on your chair or wherever in a sofa, and you light a candle. Just make yourself a bit comfortable. This is also a way where you start getting into this to this altered state of consciousness, where you start to relaxing and you open up your mind really for the messages that your spirits, your compassionate allies have. So you sit down, and then you maybe, you think of like, my dear compassionate allies, I have this question. You might write it down on a piece of paper. For example, what will happen if I marry this person? What is it that I will experience when I will marry this person? And then you draw one card or two or three, and you just put them right in front of you, and you just start looking at the cards. And whatever comes to you, you start writing down. Maybe you see some pictures, or some details are popping up from this card right into your face. Like maybe there's a little bird or something. And so you write it down, and then you start thinking of, what does that stand for? What is it? What kind of relationship do I have with this object, or with this bird, with this animal? What kind of reaction does it cause in my body? And what has that to do with my question? So you really go on a little journey. It's kind of like a shamanic journey, but not really. But you kind of just really start to open yourself up to whatever comes to you through the picture of this card. And then you write it down, and you'll see that it will make sense. It will start making sense. So this is how you can help your helping spirits to get in touch with you, although you're not able to do the shamanic journeying yet. Another way is when you are going to sleep. You can also have a piece of paper on your, on your desk beside your bed. You write down your intention, you write down your question, and you ask, my dear compassionate allies, my spirits, please, I have this question. Could you please send me a very comprehensive and understandable answer while I'm going to sleep? And, the morning I wake up, I also want to remember it. This is basically also a kind of manifestation, right? Where you have this intention. I want this to be like that. Please, I'm sending out this wish, and I will see what happens. And you will see over time, the dreams you have will become so much clearer, it'll make sense, and you will have and get amazing answers to your questions. So this is another option. So yeah, these methods I think are amazing. There's another good way to make decisions that are in line with your spirit is just basically asking your own spirit. And you can do this in a meditation, just sitting down in meditation and really asking your own spirit, please, what is the right decision for me to make? And your body is an amazing tool to make decisions because basically your soul is part of your body, or it's kind of in your body. So you can just express the answers from your spirit through your body. For example, how I like to do is there is, you just think about what will happen if I go on this job, and then you close your eyes and you really imagine how would it feel like I'm at this place, I'm with these people, how would that feel like? And then you can feel if your body's kind of cringing and it's like, I don't want to do this, or it will start to open up and you feel light and maybe there's a lot of warmth coming into your body. So you can feel already how your body reacts. This is really your intuition. This is your spirit talking to your body and giving you the signals to and the answers to your questions. I like this method where you have like your hands like that, right? It's kind of forming two rings. This is basically just for yes or no questions. If there's something, quick, I have to decide, like, I don't know, what to eat for breakfast, or when I'm at the dinner in a restaurant, what kind of food I want to have, and have a choice between different things. And if it's a yes, like yes, I can't open up these two rings. If it's a no, it's easy, right? It's easy. Try that out. Ask yourself a question. No, is my name Madeline? Yes. Is my name Lisa? No. It's just really easy. It's hard to explain, how to show. Try it out for yourself. Really, relax yourself. Have the question yes or no, and then see. And have like a little test before where the answer, it's yes or no, to see, how this all works. I really like it. You can also make it with your hands. You have two options. You imagine having one job option here, the other job option here. And then you're like, does it go up? Is it like light? Or is it kind of heavy? Does it go down? Try it out. It's a really cool way to also ask your own body, your own spirit of the questions to your answers. So if you watched my videos, you probably knew that I was about to start a new job in October. And I was convinced that this is my dream job, that I manifested my dream job. It sounded all amazing on paper. I was supposed to be project coordinator of a project about wildcats. And I always loved wildcats. I was always interested in it. So I thought, this is it. But at the same time, I was actually, I knew that I had a list of my job things that I wanted to do and I don't want to do. And I'm not a person who likes office work a lot. I knew that this job will be a lot of office work. And also, that I have to like be more official and be more bureaucratic and this kind of stuff. But I thought, wow, but it's wildcats. It's wildcats, right? So there was already a little bit of doubt, but I thought like, wow, but this is the topic I always wanted to work on. I, of course, asked my spirits, right? So I asked them, should I apply for this job? Here's already the first mistake I made. And by now you should know what, because I explained it that yes or no questions are no good questions to ask if you are asking your spirits for help. Because they said, yes, it's a good idea. It will be a very, you will make a lot of personal experiences. That was the answer. And I was like, yeah, cool. Well, this is all I need to know. Sounds like this is my job. I didn't ask any further. And I also had another person journeying for me, and they also said, yeah, you will make very important personal experiences. This was the answer. So, I went there, and before the job really started, already signed the contract and everything. So everything was, said and done. The week before the job officially was about to start, I was talking to the person who was the former position owner. The first day I felt so overwhelmed. At the same time, I was shocked because it was so much bureaucratic. I expected a little bit, but not so much. It was a lot. And so I felt how my stomach was kind of cringing, and I was like, I don't want to do this. And then the next day, I was like, come on. It was just a lot of information. Sleep a night over it. It'll feel much better the next day. This is really what you want to do. Don't worry. So the next day, it just got worse and worse and worse. She showed me all the tables, and it told me like, oh, you have to be careful with this person, and you shouldn't, you shouldn't talk about this stuff. And then when you are making this decision, you have to ask this person. And I was just hearing, oh my God, it feels like every move I make is controlled. Every decision I make, I have to report to someone. And this is the last thing I wanted for my job. So it felt horrible because I realized this is not what I want to do. In between, took some short breaks. I had to go to the toilet because I felt so sick in my stomach. How can that be? I thought this is my dream job. Like how, right? I was totally confused, totally, it really caught me totally in surprise because I was not expecting it. So I went home on that day and I was crying the whole way back home in my car because I was so sad. And at the same time, two fears were really kind of, in my face. The first fear was that, oh shit, I made a wrong decision here. I made a mistake, a huge mistake. I signed their contract and now I don't want to do this job. I will disappoint them. I will make them, they will have an effort because of me. Now they have to find someone new. That was my second big fear, to, disappointing people. And also because of my decisions, they have extra work to do. But it was so clear to me that I can't take on this job. And next day already I slept one night over it, but next day I communicated very clearly to the people from that job. And I told them that, I feel this is not the right thing. I'm not the right person for it. And that was painful and was scary, but at the same time, something I had to do. And I think looking back, my spirits were completely right because I was just asking, should I apply for them? And I said, yes. And you will make a very personal, very big and important personal experience. And this is exactly what happened. And I'm very glad for this experience, although it was not easy. It was pretty rough. But no, I'm first of all, I've seen, nothing bad happened. Even though I made a mistake, like it was reversible. First of all, I just told them I'm not coming, I'm not starting this job. And then second of all, also, it was, it felt not good to tell them, but also nothing bad happened. No one got hurt, seriously. So that was a very important experience for me to realize, even if I make the wrong decision, even if this decision is not, the right path for me, I can still learn something from it and I can always make a new decision. I'm not bound to this. That was a big eye-opener. That's why I'm sharing the story here. So hopefully, next time that happens to you, you might also just see this as an experience. So that's why maybe we can't really make wrong decisions. And if I will have another job opportunity, I definitely will ask my spirits, please show me what are the experiences I will make so I can make the decision if this is something I want to or not. And I can also highly recommend all the books from Sandra Ingemann, because there was also a story that she told exactly the same thing, where she said she had a client coming to her and the client asked, should I marry this man? And despite, Sandra Ingemann's concern, she said, maybe you want to change your intention. It's like, no, I just want to know. And then the spirit said, yes, you should marry this person. And 2 years later, she met that client again. And she said, well, I am divorced now. What the, why did they tell me I should marry this person? And she said, well, I told you the intention and the question is really important. You could have asked, what are the experiences that will await me if I'm marrying this person? So with all this said, I think, the shamanic methods are amazing for us to help, because you are getting in touch with your helping allies, with your helping spirits. If you open yourself up for this possibility that there are really spirit animals at your side, that there are really spiritual teachers and helpers. And I really like that, like also bringing that back to the example with your parents, if you go on a journey, this is maybe, if this is the right decision for you, it will bring balance into your life. And also for your parents, they might not see it that way because, you're leaving them for a year and they have to deal with all this anxiety and the worrying about you. But maybe this is what also is needed in their life to bring back something into balance. So with making decisions that are good for everyone, we are really making the world more balanced. And I like that. I really like this idea. And I experienced it many, many times in my life since I'm working with my spirit animals and my spiritual helpers. If you have questions, you can, of course, always ask me in the comments down below. I would also love to hear if you already know your compassionate allies, your spirit animals, your spiritual helpers and spiritual teachers. And if there are some situations where you really got valuable answers for questions, and if they help you making good decisions, I'm just very curious about that. Also, if you want to work with me, if you, for example, don't know your spiritual allies yet, but you would like to meet them, then this is something I can help you with in a session. I'll go on a shamanic journey for you and find your spirit animal, for example. This is also something that's possible. My website is still in the building mode, so if you want to contact me, also the email and the information is down below in my box under this video. And if you want to learn more about shamanism and also manifestation, something I talk about as well, then just check out my other videos on the playlist. And yeah, hopefully see you next time to the next video, and I'll wish you all the best. Bye bye.